going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Swag Cast. Today I have a fucking crazy ass guest, a positive voice in the UFC community, someone that has created a blueprint to short content, a TikTok megastar, KingDiaz. Let's go.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me in the podcast. For real, it's really a pleasure to be here.
Of course, man. I feel like you were one of the early guys I've reached out to, and it's just been so hard to get you on. But I'm finally excited.
Dude, I just been hella busy with
Hell
everything.
yeah.
Just a lot of things going on behind the scene, and it's just, dude, I'm just glad to be here now. We're here. It's the time. It's the moment. Let's get it.
Hell yeah, and we'll dive into all of that. But I wanna let's get right into it. Let's get into the beginning. What even inspired you to get into content? What inspired you to start making videos? Like, where did you start at first? What platform? Bring me through all of that.
Dude, I have always been creative. Like, before even creating content, I was creating music. I was writing songs. I just found myself in this space of just creating things, right? So as I'm growing up, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. And when I started doing content, at first, bro, just doing content from scratch, zero, is so tough. And 0 subscribers, 0 followers, it's so tough, man. But yeah, that's how it started. I started back on YouTube 2020, and I kind of just gave up on it for 2 years, something like that. And then I just came back. And it just kind of took over from there. It wasn't even when I came back, that wasn't even my intention to come back. It just kind of happened, you know? But yeah, dude, it's been such a long story. And I'm still writing it too, so.
Exactly, and I know you've done a bunch of different content. You got some hype beast stuff on your channel and stuff like that. You stretch it. You do a huge horizon of things. But you mentioned music. What kind of music did you write, produce?
Spanish music. So like a lot of people don't know, but I wanted to be a rapper when I was a little kid, and I think it was pretty fire actually. But my dreams got shut down by my family, so that kind of took me away from that path. By the way, I'm glad. I know this is gonna sound fucked up, but I'm kind of glad they did, because that lifestyle is not the one that I personally wanted with my personality and the way I live. So that is that. Now, content. When I found content, that I just knew that was it. I have tried multiple things. I have tried multi-level marketing. I have tried, dude, a bunch of shit. What is this thing called? I fucking forgot. I have tried other businesses as well. So when I tried this content creation, I just knew this was it.
What was your initial what did you start with? What was your first your first big TikTok or your first big YouTube video that you published?
I don't know if you know, but I had a TikTok go viral. It was a UFC 4 TikTok, where I knocked somebody out and his part showed in the video. You can still probably look at it. It's still on my TikTok. And I was like, is that his pee-pee? And that went stupid viral. Yes. I think that reached over 2 million views. At that time, which was almost 2 years ago. That was stupid viral. 2 million, not right now, is viral, but back then that was viral. So that was my kind of my first video that really blew off. Then I did another one where I really thought I was doing great and I was just being shit at the game, UFC 4. And I really thought I was doing my thing. No, that was cringy as fuck. I looked at it the other day. I was like, yeah, who let me post this? That took over as well. But those two videos were the ones that kind of put me on the map a little bit.
So many people might actually not know this, but you were one of my first ever Twitch viewers. I think. Well,
I'm all over the place.
You had it was probably a little over 2 years ago now. I was 2 viewers deep playing UFC 4, getting my ass kicked, D3 and ranked, and you had came by, was throwing some tips, and then I come to find out, oh, he fucking huge on TikTok. What the hell's he doing over here? What like got you to make UFC 4 content? Were you always an MMA fan? Were you always into like the fighting? I know you play a lot of fighting games now.
So I was a big wrestling fan back in the days, WWE. Don't ask me about it today because I don't know shit. I'm trying to get caught up with what's going on.
All you have to know is Tribal Chief is no more.
Hey, no, don't worry. I know that. I saw that. Hey, we finished the story.
Baby.
So I was a big wrestling fan. In between, I would watch MMA a little bit, but I was not really into it like that. You know, I remember watching Anderson Silva back in the day. You know, he and there, Brock Lesnar, GSP, and all of those guys, but I was not really into it like that. Basketball. Ooh, I used to be a huge basketball fan. Ooh, very big, bro. Hold up. Can you see this? Hold up. Let me see.
Oh shit. Yeah, we can see it.
Oh my god, big. I used to. I lost love. I lost the love for the game. So when I lost that love for that game, you know, the game of basketball in general, because kind of like when you leave after high school, you're kind of done, man. If you're not D1, you're cooked, man. It's either that or you're gonna be on LA Fitness hooping every fucking Sunday, and that was just not it for me, right? So I was like, when I lost passion for that sport, I was looking for something else to have like passion, and you know. And I remember watching this guy, this skinny tall guy named Israel Adesanya knocking out Robert Whittaker, and I was like, yeah, this. I think I just found it. But that's how it started, kind of. So my real deep love for the sport.
2017ish that was, or 2018 maybe.
Probably I can't recall, man. It was not Fight Night that I watched it. It was like a clip.
Oh, okay.
So but it was around there. 2019, something like that, or 18. I can't recall, man.
But Izzy's the one that got you into MMA.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I guess that's not as rare as that. That's rare for me to hear. Everybody I speak to say Conor McGregor got them into MMA.
It was kind of easy. Yeah, I'm not an easy fan, but just watching that on slow mo, like, dude, I remember watching that. I was like, yeah, that was fucking badass. That was badass.
So UFC 4 was one of your first games that you kind of started playing, getting big on. But you said
heavy, yes.
You said basketball was your first love. So did you like ever try to play 2K early on?
You want me to bring all my games?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Let's see it. Let's fucking see it. Oh, this is about to be crazy. He about to walk over with a massive fucking stack of discs.
Dude, it's raw, man.
Oh, shit.
I probably have more, but I don't want to keep you waiting. But, bro, I have it all. I was a 2K demon back in the days, man. 2K demon, for real.
That's crazy. You can see the old PS3 ones too.
Nah, bro, I've been playing since the PSP days, bro. I have more. I just don't want to. Yeah, but yeah.
So I know I see 2K TikToks every now and then from you. So I know you definitely still play it. But was that ever a main focus on content for you?
That was my main focus at first.
So you wanted to be like 2K.
A 2K content. Yeah, I wanted to be a 2K guy. I was fucking really good at the game. Like but it wasn't just meant to be, you know. I tried it, and it just didn't work out. But I didn't really try it like how I did with UFC 4. So I guess we'll never know. but I'm really happy where I'm at right now. I'm really happy with the community. With the I just love this sport. Like the deep connection that I have with this sport is something else.
So the MMA sports in general, any mixed martial art is just it brings together like a different family feeling. It's a beautiful thing. At times, the UFC gaming community can be cooked as possible, but in the depths of the community, there's definitely some things to love about it, and how that's actually what I want to talk about next. How did you really like? I know you were making the UFC content, but there's some UFC content creators out there that aren't really involved in the community at all. How did you like get involved in the esports side of the community and stay involved and do different things like that?
Dude, I don't know if you could tell, but I'm like everywhere, man. I try to be everywhere. Twitch, YouTube. I like to interact with the community, but I just do it because I actually love it. So like I love to have one-on-ones, conversations like what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I actually really with passion enjoy that type of stuff. And with I don't know, man. It's just different. It's just really different. I There's a different connection with me and combat sports. I'm just so mad that it just happened so. I'm still young, but it's so fucking late, kind of. Oh man.
Like, do you mean that like as in you could like you fighting or
Yeah, I mean, if I could go back to high
how old are
school,
you?
dude, I'm like 24. I'm still young. I know. I'm still young. I'm still young. But if I could go back to like my high school days, I would have enrolled in wrestling for sure. We had a wrestling team. I just kind of like looked at it like, ew, what's that, brother? but
So yeah,
y-
yeah, yeah. From the outside looking in, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, some things they do in judo, sauces
dude,
all
like
hell.
from the outside
No
in
diddy.
wrestling, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. But once you get it in, it's kind of fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I went over there to New York to the Tech Fall Supreme thingy,
Hmm.
everybody tried to bet me with a double leg. Everybody. Yeah, it's
Good.
like, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, good thing you didn't actually get hit with those. When I went to New York, I was actually out here getting hit with these double legs. It's that's actually cool though that you just brought that up, the Tech Fall Supreme thing, the wrestling game. I've been trying to beg Romero for information on that because I'm actually like when I think your videos were the first ones that like gave me like knowledge about that game even like being a thing. And since then I've been like, yo, what's up with this game? When's it coming? Like what's going on? I'm ready to wrestle motherfuckers.
I ain't
I'm
gonna
ready to
lie,
go.
bro. I was going crazy in that game. Like, I got to play was it an alpha? I think it was an alpha. I don't even know if it was the beta. I don't think it was the beta. It was an alpha. Dude, I was cooking everybody in the room. Bro, I was cooking. The developer had to step in to stop me. No cap.
No, that's good.
No cap. Yeah, that game has potential. I can't wait to see more from Tech Fall Supreme.
Yeah, no, that game's gonna be crazy. But back more on wrestling and what like wanting to have that knowledge. The wrestling background's probably the best background to get into MMA, and it's cool because a lot of high schools offer it. And I started wrestling in youth right before I went to middle school. And but my middle school had a wrestling team too, so that's why I have like a crazy amount of wrestling experience, but I'm still like D4 material. Um but like that's a good thing about like a lot of martial artists we see, like they've been wrestling for like 20 plus years, but they're only like 22, 23 because of all of these wrestling programs all around. But you could still get into it. You could
I
you
know.
could learn some jitsu, be a demon, uh get some striking down. I saw you in the Vancouver videos with the mocaps, throw,
Yeah.
throwing those strikes.
Yeah.
So let's actually jump into that a little bit. Working for EA, getting flown over to Vancouver, and you're still not a game changer, right?
No, I'm still not a game changer. I'm still not a
That's
game changer.
crazy to me because I from the second I saw EA post a KingDiaz video, I was like, oh, there we go, we got KingDiaz on the board, everything's gonna change. And then I'm interviewing Romero, and he was like, he not a game changer. I was like, what the fuck? What? Why? And you're, but the impact that you have with working with EA has definitely shown, and the game changers in general have just been doing their thing with the change and everything that's coming. But kind of like walk me through the Vancouver trip and how that came about and how working for EA even came about. Like bring me from the beginning all the way to
From the beginning.
yeah.
So
Like
I was streaming one day. I get a message, asking me if I was free these couple of days, and I was like, hell yeah. And then the question was, do you have a passport? And I'm like, no, I don't have a passport. Because, Canada, you need a passport to go to Canada. And I'm like, dude, I'm like such a weird dude because when I put something on my mind, it's either I'm going to die trying or I'm going to get it. That's how I think. So I was like, no, I don't have a passport, but I can make it happen. And it was like 2 weeks away from like, dude, getting yeah, bro. Yes, getting a passport in like 2 weeks. It's crazy.
that's like unknown. That's like unheard
So
of because
let me tell you something. I called the agency. They have like a passport agency, right? I called over there. I got an appointment. I was sent to like they have agencies all around the U.S. where you could go and get your passport on the same day. But it's just a process. It's a process. So I did that. I went. I don't know if you know where I'm at, but I'm in Florida. I'm near Orlando.
Okay.
I drove from near Orlando, all the way to Miami for an appointment, so I could get my passport. Passport day comes. I did everything. I took my picture. I took what was it? All the requirements. Got them done. Passport appointment day comes. It's at 9 p.m. Well, 9 a.m. Sorry. I'm staying on a hotel 5 minutes away. It's 8:45. I go down. My car is not ready. The valet parking lady is taking her time. My girl is next to me. I got all of my papers on my hands. I'm 20 minutes walking distance. And if I'm late, I don't get my passport.
Yeah.
Dude, I started running on the highway with the cards. I said, fuck it. I'm not going to lose this appointment.
And you made it?
Fuck it. I went to Vancouver. Yes, I made it, bro. It was just kind of crazy because I probably thought, what are people thinking right now? Like, this dude is running next to the car, stretched up with a folder on his hand.
That's a
Probably look crazy. Probably look crazy as hell.
Oh, for sure. There was some motherfuckers in their car that made their day. All day they were just like telling everybody I saw some crazy motherfucker dressed up running on the highway, bro. Like all day.
Let me tell you something. When I got over there, I was dreading sweat. But I tell you what, Swaggy, I feel like the fucking man. I was like, ain't nobody fucking stopping me. But after I got my passport, that was the easy part. EA covered the hotel. They covered my flight. They covered the food. Bro, they treated me really nice. Really, really nice. We got over there. The first day I got over there, just like I said in my video, it was kind of like a chill day. Took 2 flights. It was like a 9-hour flight. It was kind of a lot. But we got over there. And then we went from there, yeah.
Yeah, nah, that flight from the bottom of the East Coast all the way to Vancouver must have been brutal.
It was brutal, but it was an experience that I'm gonna take with me to the afterlife. So I don't mind.
Nah, for sure. I watched your video and I watched Balian's video. And I was like, it looks like they had a lot of fun there. Now, a question specifically I wanted to ask: did you roll on the with them during the open mat?
No, I didn't roll. And the reason why I didn't roll was because I have no experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I made it a goal of mine that if this was to happen again, I'm rolling. So
Yeah.
that is that. But no, I did not roll. Like while they were rolling, I was basically just taking other footage,
Mm-hmm.
like be more B-roll footage. I actually took some B-roll from them as well. I don't know if you saw my video,
Hmm.
but yeah, I just kept taking B-roll while they rolled.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And I saw after you had tweeted about vlogging and how it was like a different experience for you than like the content you're used to making. Do you think you'll be doing more vlogs after experiencing the first
Absolutely,
one?
absolutely, absolutely. The reason why I don't do them as much right now, dude, I'm always here. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This is what I do. But yes, absolutely, 100%. It was such a weird experience, kind of like as a content creator, because it was kind of weird, man. Like recording in front of people. I'm supposed to be the confident one. You
Yep.
know what I'm supposed to be the one who's confident recording behind the camera. And that was not, I say that was not the case because that was my first time recording a vlog. So like, man, shit. All I did was fuck it. I'm just gonna record everything, and
Mm-hmm.
once I get home, I'll figure it out. That's what happened.
Yeah, I've only vlogged a couple times, and every time I do, I'm just for no reason in the most populated areas, and I'm like already an awkward guy to begin with, so I just feel like it makes for an even awkward video. But the only vlog I've ever edited and posted was like my swaggy embedded before the Romero match, and I felt good about that, even though people
That
were
was really
looking at
cool.
me like a weirdo.
That was really cool.
Well,
That was a really cool video.
Shout out to you. I stole your thumbnail. You
I
had
know I
made
wasn't mad about it. I was like, okay, I made
you
it.
you had made like an edited picture, and I was like, oh, I'm fucking using that. That's the inspiration right there. So I actually want to jump back now. You had so your short content is like really popping. It's your TikTok is you're a mega star of TikTok for a reason. And anybody I talk to about short content, because I've just started reinventing my short content a little bit, and anybody I speak to brings you up and says KingDiaz, he started the blueprint, like he's the blueprint guy, this is how you do it. And you, a lot of your TikToks will be, you start with an eye gazing shot, and you come in with crazy amounts of energy, and you set a challenge or a story, and it really engages the viewers to want to watch the entire thing. um Kind of go about like what mistakes you made before you got to this blueprint point, and kind of what brought you here.
Oh, dude, it was just trying and failing, trying and failing.
Mm-hmm.
Trying different methods, failing with those methods. So when you're making a video, especially short form, you want to get the people in the next 5 seconds. I need to convince you to stick around to watch the whole video. That's my whole purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need. 5 seconds. With the intro, you want to get something really catchy and like eye gazing. Like if you watch one of my videos,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even include myself right away. I always have like something going on. I'm gonna show you to see, just so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you see how it's not even me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you something that is going to happen in the video
Mm-hmm.
right away, and then hold up, boom,
And then you come on screen.
yeah, um, yeah, just failing and trying methods, bro. Before I was not like that's something that just clicked with me. Reading books, doing my research as well, because this content shit takes a lot of research, bro. It takes a lot of research. So like that's why a lot of creators, once you steal something from them, they get really mad because, dude, I put in the work for that to work, and then somebody else just comes in and take it, no
Mm.
credit. That's why people get mad.
Mm. So okay, let's talk about that now. Actually, you just brought up a really good point. Do you get upset that there's people out there now using this blueprint and
No,
like
no. Absolutely not. I mean, it's just growing the community at the end of the day.
mm,
So it doesn't bother me. What I was trying to like say and refer to was like, let's say like I do this,
mm-hmm,
and then you take it, you give me no credit for it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make
mm.
it? Maybe I'm not making sense.
No, you are making sense. I completely understand what you mean. Because it's kind of like referred to, especially in like this side of the community, as the KingDiaz method, and like I feel like that's kind of like a refreshing thing. Like that's kind of like that's a good thing to hear. That's like a holy shit, I did that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really bother me that people are starting to do it more because it really shows that the influence, you know, it
Mm.
really shows in a positive way.
Yeah.
It really shows that you know, the community is just going forward and reaching new highs,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So I'm
Yeah.
just happy with it, with how everything's working out in the community content wise. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, for sure. And one of the games that you've been playing recently, which is like a newer game to see on your channel, is Rainbow Six Siege. Um,
I'm
uh,
addicted to that game,
you
dude.
and like watching your early Siege content, you don't look as good. And then coming into your later stuff, you can tell like the experience. You've gotten really good at it, and you've actually kind of like you've made me want to play it, and I've recently reinstalled it, and I've been grinding Siege, and slowly getting better. But that shit's hard as fuck, and I got some homies that are like diamond ranking, and they won't even play with me. They're like, you a bum. You need to learn a little bit more. So,
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I haven't posted a Siege video in like 2 to 3 weeks, but I'm telling you right now, I'm playing that game every night on my personal time. The addiction is real, Swaggy. Dude, I have some plays in here that I might post them, I might edit them. I'm low key getting cracked. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm like, okay, I need to save this on my PlayStation. This is good. Dude,
uh,
Valkyrie, me and Valkyrie,
I've been using Valkyrie too. I've been using
those
Valkyrie too.
cameras are a cheat code, man. If you know how to use them, they are a cheat code. Yeah, man, Siege is such a good game. But like, that game came out what I was about to say 100 years, no, 10 years ago. I was about to
Yeah,
say 100 years ago. What the hell? No, that game came out like 10 years ago, and that game is just, in my opinion, that game is good. That game is
yeah.
great.
I
It's a good
remember
game.
like the day it came out. I like pre-ordered it and like I played it on PS4, and I still remember like I was still in high school. I think I was a senior. Like that game was like the shit, and now it's still like it's only gotten better. And that leads to my next question. How would you feel about training me? You know, giving me a couple training sessions. You know, teaching me the way
Oh,
of playing Siege.
I'm down. I'm down. Hey, I'm not the best. I ain't no champion, but I tell you what, I know my ways. You know what I'm saying? I know some stuff.
It's all about
I
the
know
winner
some stuff.
mindset. That's it. That's it. We'll go in, we'll get dubs. So now going into creating the blueprint and doing all of this, you had told me before we started recording that it's been about a year now that you've been full time.
Yes,
But it's been about over two
it's
years
been more.
making content. So explain to me how you worked and made content at the same time, your transition into going full time, and kind of everything surrounding that.
I think it's been more than a year now. It's been like a year, maybe 6 months, something
Mhm.
like that. I lost time, man. I don't know, man. I don't even know. What's today's date? It's Sunday. You see what
April
I'm talking about?
14th.
So when I was working, bro, and making content, like, that shit was tough. That shit was so tough. You know, like right now it's tough, but compared to that, I was tougher. And I'll tell you what, because I have to go to this place, you know,
Mm-hmm.
clock in, mentally drain myself, clock out, and then I have to bring the best energy to my content. after I already drained my energy on a place that I don't want to be at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm like that? Like it was not hard physically, mentally that was super tough. I mean, it got to the point where I don't know if you know what VTO is. You know what you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
So I used to work in a warehouse,
Okay.
and every time we wouldn't have like high volume,
Mm-hmm.
they will offer VTO, meaning you will get voluntary time off,
Okay.
and you get to like they'll have a list who wants VTO, you get to go home, and you get the day off. And I used to, dude, I used to get VTO every day of the week, sometimes. It got so bad to the point where like my checks will come out to like $20 sometimes
Really?
for 2 weeks. Yeah, absolutely. That's
Oh.
how much I have sacrificed for this game. Cause it's not that I will take VTO and go home and be a bum. I will take VTO and come work on content without getting paid for it.
Yeah. So not talk about myself, but I currently work 40 hours a week, and there's some opportunities, especially like on the summer days where it's just like you want to go home, and I always take up those opportunities because that's more time to make content. And you had mentioned, you said 2 weeks. Did you get paid bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
They're like $10 every week.
Yeah, that's crazy though. That's a lot of
That's
VTO
insane.
Yeah,
No, absolutely. They used to call me the VTO king. No, for real. I'm not even lying. Dude, it got to the point where it was low-key embarrassing to like take the VTO, because like, so how this is how the warehouse industry works. You go in, you have a little meeting in the morning. They will tell you what you have to do, and then you go from there. There are stations. Everybody is assigned to a station. But the bosses knew the people who would take the VTO consistently, so they wouldn't put me in a station right away just to ask me if I want to go home. Because a lot of people can't afford to go home. You know what I mean? I couldn't afford to go home either, but I couldn't afford to lose either. Shout out to Rato Moicano.
Yeah, that's that money moy.
Money more.
That's like I like can't think of the word I want to say, but that's like dedication right there. That's like you have your eyes on the prize. You're like nonstop grinding. When did you realize it was time for you to finally say, "Fuck it, I'm going full time"?
When I got fired.
Oh, you got fired?
Yeah. Dude, I got I didn't get fired. I got laid off. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
My whole like they took out they laid off like 300 employees from my department. And at that time, so this is how the laid off work. They laid me off, and it was so random. Like they didn't, companies don't give you like a warning. I was supposed to go in on Saturday. They gave me a call. Oh, you don't have to come in anymore. Yada yada yada. This is what's gonna happen. We're laying off 300 employees. You're one of them. I'm sorry. A lot of people were crying. I was actually not crying, and it was crazy because those were one of that situation where I was supposed to be like panicking, and I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I don't know why. They pay me like 3 months, just regular pay. You know what I mean? For 3 months, regular pay, and that's when I said, okay, it's time now. It's now or never. If I don't make it happen now, I'm cooked.
So you got that 3 months regular pay, and you were like, okay, now I have a little bit of money to just like sit down, do content, and really like grind it out. What did you do in that 3 months that was different than like when you were working full time and making content?
Dude, like the same thing that I'm doing right now. Just treat it as if I was already a full-time content creator. Streaming a lot. You know what's crazy? Right now, I think I'm slacking a lot. Like personally, I think I slack a lot.
Yeah. Why do you feel like that? I feel like you're so busy and you have a lot going on. Why do you feel like you're slacking at all?
Because I just put pressure on myself. That's all it is. I feel like I should be doing more and more and more. even though I do a lot, but that's just
Yeah.
me. That's just me. My standards and stuff. But what was the question again? Sorry, it kind of went off royal there.
I had asked you how like that 3 months pay, like
Mm,
what did you do different?
dude, so like I just started like doubling everything. You know,
Okay.
I uploads, streams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was already on the. It was not the creativity program. It was the old program that we had on TikTok. Fucking cheeks, man. I was getting paid like 1 penny for like two to 5 pennies for every video I was making.
Yeah.
It took me like almost a year to make $100 of that
Mm-hmm.
program. Posting every day. So that was that. On those 3 months, we got the new creativity program beta on
Okay.
TikTok, and that kind of like saved my ass. But yeah, bro, I just don't know. I just had a feeling this was it. This was it. That was just
Yeah.
that.
So that new creative program, kind of like walk me through that a little bit. I know like the rates got raised and things like that, but how did that change the game for you?
So I was basically making what I was making on my job, but on TikTok.
Okay.
Basically, so that was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like after the 3 months that I stopped getting paid for my old job, it was basically like doing what I was doing on my job. As if I was working 40 hours a week,
Yeah.
but on TikTok, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously not working 40 hours a week.
So so now I I understand the next step would be to expand more on this. Would that be to start doing other platforms? I know you already do every platform, but maybe grinding the YouTube and the other platforms a little bit more, or
The payment has gotten down since the new update. I ain't gonna lie to you, like
mm-hmm.
it has gotten down a lot. My new step is to conquer long form. That's just it for me. It's always been about long form for me since the beginning. I'm gonna show you this wallpaper real quick,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have had this wallpaper for like 5 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and that is this.
The YouTube.
I
Okay.
don't take I don't take my eyes off the prize. So
Yeah.
since the beginning, it has always been YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and TikTok work for me and everything. But dude, I have so much more to offer. That is just I just can't deliver what I'm able to offer in a 1 minute video on TikTok.
Hmm.
So for me, what's next is YouTube. Yeah, yeah,
So
100%.
so the long form content's the way to go.
Longevity is there.
Yes, exactly, and that's a reason that I've been really focusing on that kind of stuff as well. Now, do you see you having to switch genres at all going into the long form direction, or would you even still within having to switch genres stay with video games, still play games for content, but also do other things outside of that space?
I don't think I'm gonna have to switch. I just gotta be me, man.
Hmm.
That's all it is. I gotta be me, be different, authentic, unique, and everything's just gonna come into place. Like that's just about it, to be honest. And if I was to, I wouldn't say change. If I was to do something else really outside of my niche, I would just create another channel.
Hmm.
If that was the case. But the reason why I do this is because I love doing this. Like there's a lot of people who have stopped playing UFC 5 and the UFC games in general.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I haven't stopped doing it is because I love MMA.
Yeah.
I love mixed martial arts. I love violence, classic violence,
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still doing what I do every day. That's why I'm still covering the games. That's why I still post the amount of content that I post daily.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz I love doing it. If you don't love it, just don't do it.
No, exactly. Like even feeling burnt out some days, I still always looking forward to sitting down and doing my stream, or sitting down and talking to somebody for the pod, or planning a video, or I've even recently worked jujitsu into my schedule, and have been planning like big content things with jujitsu, And you had mentioned to me before we started the recording that you were actually you were actually looking into starting jiu-jitsu once you find a way to make some time for it. And EA gave you this fire ass gi as well, so you have the
Absolutely.
perfect reason to start.
Yes. So look, right now, the reason why I haven't started doing it is because, dude, like I have these big ambition goals, and like all my time is just into those goals. I just been putting, dude. When I tell you the obsession that I have is crazy,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably crazy. Like I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. My whole day is just thinking about it, and just how can I improve? How can I be better? How can I, you know, how can I how can my next video be better than my last video? Okay, this fucking shit sucks. Okay, let me try this. Let me try that. My mind is always going like that, and in some ways, it's really affecting my personal and my relationship life. But I, you want to be great, you got to pay the price.
Mm.
That's just
Exactly.
how I see.
Exactly. The timing was like really hard for me too, but I was able to find a gym that like does classes at because I usually stream after work every day. I wake up at 4 a.m. I go to work for 4:30. I work till 1 p.m. I get out. I start stream by 2 p.m. On my jiu-jitsu days, I get off at 5:30. I go to class for 6. I train till 8. I get home, I eat, I'm in bed by 9, and the next day we do it again, right? So I was able to find a gym where I'm still able to get my 3.5 hour stream in. I've still got to work my work day, and then I can still do what I need to do. And I feel like that there's gyms all over the place, and that's definitely. I feel like it would also, even if you're going 1 day a week, it would give you like a side hobby to really get your mind off of content, even if it's 1 hour a week. Like, and it'll give you something to look forward to, and just something else,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
and you could always use that for content as well. Like shit, I have another influencer grappling match coming up, and that's perfect content, or just even like doing side things with guys getting on the mats and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, man, I know you said you were up to big things. You've been really busy. You got anything to leak for us? Any crazy information, crazy drops?
Okay. Now, of course, there's a lot of things that I can't talk about.
Mm,
But what I will say is that, do you remember that Alex Pajeda animation yesterday?
yes.
That he when he knocked out, that's actually so crazy because I captured that same emo when I was over there on Vancouver. That was my emo. Like, yeah. So, is it possible to be in the game? Maybe,
Uh
because
huh.
that's exactly the bro. It was like
Uh
that's what I
huh.
captured. So that's that. Yeah.
Oh shit, that would
That would
actually
be
be
dope
sick.
if they added to the game. That would be really dope.
That'd be
That
sick
would be
because we have a shorts too, so like that would be, you can literally recreate the moment. That's so sick. Let's actually just talk about the mocapping real quick. That must have been cool as fuck to put the mocapping on. Being a video game fan for as long as you've been, like being able to put the mocap on and seeing yourself on the screen, like.
dude. That was crazy, bro. Like I went over there. That was probably it was crazy because the last day was the best day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why couldn't this be the first day? Now I don't want to leave. Nah, that was really awesome. Like mocapping,
Mm-hmm.
it really gave me an understanding why some of the things that we have on UFC 5 are the way they are, especially with grappling. Dude, mocapping animations with the technology they have right now, like especially on grappling, it's not easy. Cause I don't know if you know, but before you start an animation, you got to do a T post.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start recording. Then you
Yeah.
end up, and then you do a T post.
Yeah.
So that just clicked. I was like, huh, that's why we got a lot of T-pose glitches on the game, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool. That was really awesome. Really cool experience with those guys. For real.
I know they had you do well, I saw at least Balian do it in his video. Do your favorite fighters walk out,
No,
and
they gave
did
us options, man. They were like, you could either do your favorite fighter or you could do you.
uh-huh.
So I was like, I'm gonna just do me. Cause I love MMA, but I don't remember the walkout exactly, like step by step. You know what I mean? Probably,
Yeah.
probably all the better. But other than that, I'm a big laser. I ain't gonna lie to you. It is what it is.
Nah, I feel you. Like the only walkout I can remember from let's just say 300 is Bobby Green like rolling and throwing himself into the
Dude,
middle.
Bobby Green is a savage. The way he was walking down Jim Miller, this dude fights like he doesn't care. Like he walks down with the hands down, just talking to you the whole time, bro. He's like, "What's up?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just kind of crazy to see, bro. I thought that was going to be fight of the night.
It
It
almost
had
was.
potential.
Yeah.
Before Max, it happened. Max Holloway, that was just such a beautiful performance. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was pissed because the fight before Oliveira lost, and when I told you I was pissed, I was like, man, I don't give a fuck about the BMF no more. and then I got tuned in again. I was like, okay, now this is actually really good.
Yeah, nah, that Charlie Olive's getting. I don't want to say robbed because I can see why he lost, but it was a close fight, man. It was good. He had some deep subs in, but fucking Armin just slipped out.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I don't think it was a robbery, and this is coming from a Glazer.
Yeah,
I don't think he got robbed. I think the Ryman won. I was just so pissed that he lost because my girl was next to me. She was like, "Why are you so mad?" And I'm like, "Cause you don't understand how like this sets him back. Now he like, where do we go from here? Like, do we fight Gamrot? I'm talking like I'm part of the team, man. Who do we like? How do we go about it now? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's just so many questions that we are not gonna get the answer to right away. So I was so pissed
yeah. But that's
that
the beautiful thing about MMA.
when he got the gilly in the first round, I jumped out of my couch and I thought it was done. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's done." He fought that man. The way he got out of that, I don't even know how he got. That was tough. That was pure mental and will.
I had money on the Charles Oliveira knockout, so I was actually stressed how deep that gilly was. I was like, no, get out, get out, like.
Nah, bro, I should have recorded my reaction. That was pretty priceless, bro. Like when I told you I jumped and I started screaming, I was like, "Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! It's over!"
Yeah.
And my girl was like, "No, it's not over." I'm like, "It's fucking over!"
Yeah, nah, I did an MMA guru type stream for the event, and then I realized why I don't do those after Oliveira lost, because I was like, fuck this shit, and I ended my stream, and I was like, I'm going to bed, but like I couldn't miss Max Holloway, and I'm glad I did, because that fight was...
That fight was bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those guys who didn't believe on Max on lightweight. I mean, you got to think about it. He went up there. He fought DP Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
We have seen it, man. I'm like thinking logically. I'm like, okay, he won't carry the power. I have seen this happen before. Yada yada yada. But the way Max played that out, it was just so beautiful to watch, man. Like he was popping, sticking and moving. He was really he looked very crispy with the boxing. At one point, I thought he felt bad for Justin.
Yeah,
Like,
nah, for sure. That nose
like,
was fucked up, and it looked like he was just kind of like not really...
Yes, I think he felt bad for Justin. I think he could have finished the fight way earlier.
Yeah.
If he really wanted to, but he was kind of like, he was still, popping the jab, popping the combinations, but he could have finished, but he didn't.
Maybe he was just
And
going
then-
for the double bonuses. Maybe he didn't feel bad
Nah,
at all.
I think what did it was when Justin Gaethje dropped him, that waked him up. I think that's what it was. Because the same thing happened with not the same thing, but kind of like, because Max Holloway, something needs to happen in the fight for him to wake up and like wants to fuck you up.
Yeah.
On the Korean Zombie fight, it was when he was taunting him and he just started swinging crazy. Max was like, "Okay, let's start swinging crazy then."
Yeah.
Boom, one punch knocked him out. What other fight was it? Arnold Allen, same thing happened. So that one thing needs to happen for Max Holloway to just wake up and start going crazy on you. And I think like Gaethje dropping him, was it a drop? I think it was. Dropping him, I think that's what, okay, I gotta finish this right here, right now. That was really
Yeah,
awesome to watch.
nah, for sure. It was an amazing fight. Like I wouldn't be surprised if that goes up for fight of the year possibly.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
for sure, for sure. But shit. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I really
No,
appreciate you.
is it over? No way it's over. Come
It's
on, man. We
over.
gotta make it to an hour.
I mean, we can. We only got 9 minutes. Fuck it. We can edit that out. We can edit that out. Yeah, nah, fucking Max Holloway winning the BMF title. Uh, you had mentioned to me earlier that it's too late for you to go into MMA and do all of this. What if you magically found time to start training and you're like that?
You know, I don't think it's late because it's definitely not late. I would just, in
No.
order for me to go into MMA right now, I will have to drop what I'm doing and strictly if I want to make,
If you want to be a UFC
yeah,
champion,
yeah, I gotta like lock in, fuck creating content, or have somebody on the background like switch everything for me and be like, okay, now from UFC 5 player to UFC champion, so shit like that. That would be really cool, I guess. But I don't know why, bro. Every time I watch like the UFC, which is every time, because this is how I live my life, bro. This is going to sound crazy to you. I wake up, I go to Twitter just to make sure everything is okay on the MMA space. Okay. From there, I go to Lucas Tracy's channel just to see what's up, what's going on around. From there, MMA Guru. From there, I go to Joy's MMA. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm locked in the community.
do you mean Tracy Cortez?
No. Lucas Tracy.
Oh, okay.
That's a no,
I
no,
I
no,
was
bro.
like, did he just leak that he a freaky frog? Just like on the podcast, just like that.
No. And then from there, if I'm bored, I'll watch a fight. And then if I'm bored again, I'll watch an Ultimate Fighter episode. Dude, I'm like, and then if I want to play something, I'll play UFC 5. I'm like always doing. There's always something involved with MMA. Me on my daily.
Yeah, and you are into fighting games for gaming, like in general. Like you did a lot of Street Fighter stuff when it came out. Unless I'm wrong. No, you
No,
did
no,
a
no.
lot of Mortal Kombat stuff when it came out.
Mortal Kombat. I did a little bit of it. It was not a lot. I didn't do Tekken.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do Undisputed. Yeah, I did a lot of it. Undisputed. Yeah, I even posted an Undisputed video not too long ago, like a day ago on my YouTube.
Undisputed, I feel, had its issues and still does, but it's definitely playable and definitely still has a lot of fun factors to it.
It is, but to be quite honest with you, the issues they need to get fixed, man. Like we need more animations. Like there's some animations that they don't look good. Uppercuts, they look kind of bad. If it's not Canelo, the uppercut looks horrible. Connection issues needs to get fixed.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
What else? There's a lot. Gameplay issues, cheaters. I mean, I'm kind of past the stage of okay, we're gonna let this pass. We're gonna let it go because you are, I'm kind of past that stage because I feel like there has been enough time, and nothing has really changed. I mean, I don't know what it was, but that beta, the first beta, no, what was it, the first or the second one? That version of Undisputed felt like Undisputed to me.
Yeah.
This version of Undisputed, I don't know what it feels like to me.
It
like,
feels really choppy still.
Like I can't even play online, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm an online guy. I like to like go against people to like test my skills, to test my IQ. That's what I enjoy doing. I can't do that with Undisputed because if I go and play Undisputed online, I'm always thinking, is this guy cheating? And then I got to deal with exploits. And the thing is, if it happened once in a blue moon, fuck it, who cares? It happens every fight.
Yeah.
Step back cross, body up. It's just not a fun experience to like. But don't get me wrong. When I went to Vancouver, I took my laptop and I was playing Undisputed on that bitch. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I
So
was playing. I was playing the CPU. I wasn't playing online.
So speaking of undisputed and boxing games in EA, it's been leaked that I don't know if it's been officially announced that EA has a fight night coming. I don't know if you know anything, but if you know anything, you probably can't say anything. But how would you feel if that is true?
Okay, so I'm gonna just say this right now. I don't know anything. Like I don't know anything about Fight Night
That's what
because
they want you to say.
no. I genuinely don't know anything. But the one thing that I do know is that making a boxing game is so much more expensive than making a UFC game, and I'm gonna
Yes.
tell you why. Because
Okay.
on the UFC games, you have the UFC license, which allows you to have all the fighters
Mm.
because they are signed with the UFC. In boxing, it's not like that. You need to get every individual fighter, so it's like so much more complicated
Yeah.
to make a boxing game. But in terms of the league, I don't know. Like I really don't know. And if I knew, I would tell you that I'm not allowed to tell you
Yeah.
right
How?
away.
But how would you feel if it is like actually officially coming out?
I
Would
mean,
is that a game
the
you'd be
more
excited for?
fuck yeah, the more the better. The more the better because that means competition.
Yes.
Competition always brings the best on both
Mm-hmm.
sides. Really, I mean, we seen it with EA and 2K back in the days when NBA Live and 2K were going at it. You know,
Yeah.
EA NBA Live had their years, but then 2K stepped up and
Mm-hmm.
they just kind of took over, and then the downfall came after that. But those were some of the best years for both companies. So when it comes to like that type of stuff, competition is needed, bro. No cap, no cap. Competition is needed to bring the best out of people.
So now, do you think that would hurt UFC 5 or the UFC EA games because EA likes to this is a known thing. EA likes to pull devs from certain teams and put them on other teams to work on other games. Do you think a lot of the UFC devs would get? I know it's already a small dev team to begin with. So do you think a good amount of them would get pulled over to work on Fight Night?
Um, if I was to give you a good guess, that will probably be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I mean, what what else is gonna be happening with five? A couple updates. How many months since UFC five release?
It came out in October.
Couple of long months. So I think the goal right now is to get the game to a good place.
Hmm.
I think that that last update was a good step on the right direction.
Yeah, I think we need. I think we're two more away.
Personally, do you think stamina is more tax or no?
Uh, Personally, I like Stam. I like Stam when you're actually trading, but there's certain situations where if an opponent misses a lot, I feel like it takes a little too much. Or also the body stam and I could be wrong because I only played this patch a little bit because I am very patched out since the one before that kind of enabled spinning elbows a little bit. And I was a spinning elbow menace, call myself spinning swaggy. So they done patched me out. I can't spin no more. I can't pray for the doctor. But I liked the last patch stam wise, and there were a couple more defensive things that I realized the defense gets a little bit better every patch as well.
So like the one thing that I would say is there are a lot of there's issues like tracking. We know that
That's a big
there's
issue.
issues with the camera glitches. There's big issues, and all I want to whoever's watching, they know about those issues. They are working towards those issues. It's just not easy things to fix. And dude, when I went over there, I was watching like a lot from behind the scene. And these people work like 15-hour days, bro. Like they leave, breathe the office.
Yeah.
But yes, they know about the issues. They're working on the issues. It's just a little deeper and complex. And there's also a lot of things that I know that I'm not allowed to talk about that really gave me an understanding on why this is like this and why this is like that and why this is this and why that is that.
Hmm.
But of course, like I said, I can't tell you about it because, you know. But yes.
Yeah. So now you said they work like 15-hour days.
Yeah.
Do and I've said this on past episodes as well. I think any EA game that you think is garbage or not going well, it's not the devs' fault. It's not the game changers' fault. It's the higher ups because like we mentioned a couple minutes ago, the dev team's small. The dev team could use a couple more people. All the dev teams could. Games like Madden and FIFA, they pull guys mid-season and kind of put them in other places. And like a lot of the devs are overworked and do this and do that. Um, do you feel like we could ever see a change in like that and EA getting better at like giving more tools to these teams.
Okay. I'm that's a good question. That's a really good question. I was talking about this with somebody over there, and you got it, like the way they put it to me, it was like, okay, that makes sense. So
Mhm.
EA is a company, right?
Yes.
EA have investors in that company. Investors don't care if the game is good or if the game is bad. All they care is about profit. If they are profiting, you know, they're winning in their eyes. So
Mm-hmm.
in order for something like that to happen, you know, competition goes back to competition, bro. Yeah, we need somebody to like bring the fire out in EA. I said EA, not in the developers, because the developers they do, you know, these developers they be catching a lot of straights and jabs. But I met them one on one. I talked to them one on one, and they are very very passionate about MMA and the game. There's a lot of things they want to do. They just I know the budget, but that's not their
Yeah.
fault. That's EA. That's EA Sports. It's in the game. That's not them, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no, and that's something that I've realized ever since I started actually talking to the game changers and I think I've spoken to well you're not a game changer, but I've spoken to I've spoken to like three or four now. Only two on the podcast, and then of course Romero whipped my ass, and then I had an interview with him, which by the way I just want to point out I often go back and watch that interview because it's funny to me how like they're about a minute 20 into the interview I he's talking and I take a sip of Gatorade and I'm just like and I'm like oh, I was still trying to catch my breath there. I was like
I
trying my
mean,
best.
I'm not a game changer myself, but I'm basically getting like the like whatever they see, I'm seeing. But I'm not a game changer myself. Bro, these game changers, they get a lot. Again, they get a lot of straights and they get a lot of jabs too. And something that I want to say, and it's just from the bottom of my heart, a lot of people think these guys are like yes men's. That's not the case, bro. Like I've been there in the office. I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm not telling you, okay, I heard this. No, I seen it. I was, you know, developer, game changers, and these guys are very vocal, and especially Marshall and Romero, very vocal. And yeah, they're not yes men's, and they actually won the best. What's the best for the game? So did the developers. It's just a lot of it's just EA. This is just it's just EA Sports. But yeah.
Yeah, when that big all of the fighters got announced and like a couple weeks ago,
Dude, when I saw that for the first time, that
I
was crazy.
I was hyped and that was like I think they announced that like a day after we found out that you guys were all in Vancouver, and then they had announced that, and we got crazy announcements after that. And I didn't know about any of that. I try to sometimes ask Z Hunter and Romero to give me information. Like anytime I find out alter egos are coming out, I'll DM them and I'll be like, "Yo, who's coming out this week?" And they're always like, "Just wait and find out." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. You're supposed to tell me," but they never do. But I did find out using detective work that y'all were in Canada because of the way things were worded in certain DMs. And then when I found out why, I was like, oh, everything makes sense now. And then all of these big updates started coming out and everything like that. You had said EA is going in the right direction. Do you think that this game will be very finished, playable within the next 2 months to the point where we'll see kind of a revival of it, because it is still a little down in the dumps at the moment.
Well, it all depends on the next update. I personally think they need to do big updates like the last one, because before these updates, it was kind of very small changes, and small changes are okay. But when you are, doing small changes from month to month, that is just not okay. Like if you was to tell me, okay, we're gonna change this small thing today, and then we're gonna try this small thing next week or 3 days from now, that's more doable, because you're not making the community wait 30 days for a small update. But if you're making updates like the one we had last month, 3 to 4 months, maybe less, for sure.
Cool,
The,
cool. That
I think the big issue is the big problems with the game, and that I don't know how long it would take, because I'm not a developer myself.
so so I understand that with the fixes. But what about the official like kind of like player base, which is starting to rise in viewership, because certain creators like you, Pry, shout out Pry, Marshall, shout out Marshall. Y'all are all chilling with the UFC content. But like I haven't touched it in weeks because I've been on my Siege slash Fortnite grind. However, like for example on Twitch, if I were to look at the numbers right now, probably 24 viewers watching UFC. And that's probably majority of them are watching Tap, and then the rest of the people are sitting on one to two viewers. How do you feel like there's a raise in more content creators playing UFC 5 coming as the game gets better?
And you see, now that's why we kind of have to go back to that question that you asked me. If it made me mad that people kind of like take my blueprint and do stuff the way kind of like I do it, that's why it don't bother me, because if people are finding success with the Brooklyn, that means more people are going to be engaging more with the community. People are going to be watching. This game is a very niche game. Like there's two type of people who play this game. One is one like me who's really obsessed with the sport. That's actually three. The second one is the Jimmy who doesn't leave the basement and is always Division 20 on ranked, spamming elbows in the clinch, exploiting the game. And then you have the casual guy who says, fuck it, I don't have a boxing game, I want to get in the game. I want to get some knockouts. Those are the three type of guys that you get on UFC 5. Now, we'll have to see what needs to be done in order to make this game more of a for the not for the casuals, but more like, what is that word called? More live stream for the. I don't even know how to say
Mainstream.
that. Yes, more mainstream, in order for people to like everybody play the game.
Yes, yeah, like more mainstream, because like the physical sport itself is more mainstream. Why can't the game be more mainstream? And I really think that a direction to aim for that is in this esports space, which would really take help from bigger creators and help from EA and things like that to really make the esports space lovable again because it's slightly starting to fall off. I'm still heavily involved in the esports space. I do commentating every week for primetime, and I co-host the podcast over there. But no, numbers viewer wise are declining anywhere UFC 5 is, and I do believe if the esports scene starts to pick up with help from EA and help from other bigger creators, that it can start to kind of build a whole again, because look at why Apex is so big on content, or COD so big on content, or Fortnite so big on content. The best in the world are the biggest creators in those spaces, because they go to these live tournaments, and they play in these tournaments, and they have big moments and things like that, you know?
You want me to tell you kind of like what's something that could be really helpful
Yes.
in order for this? Okay, so first things first, you need to give people a reason to tune in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the ESFL or prime time. I could be wrong. I'm not tuning into esports like that. Do they play for money?
No.
So there's no reason for me to tune in. And then the people who take place on these competitions, they are very fucking good, but they have no online presence. So, it's kind of like there's no money involved. I don't know who's fighting. Yeah, he's fucking really good, but do I really care? Respectfully,
Well,
no.
well, right now, one of the champions in primetime is Naz, who...
Okay, but Nas because he's a creator.
Yeah,
Now to my
exactly.
second point is you gotta get creators involved. You know what I'm saying? Get more creators involved. Bring prices. Give me a reason to tune in. Give me a reason to compete, because you just gotta give people a reason to like tune in to watch you. No, because being good at the game is just not good enough. Nowadays, it's just not good enough for give people a reason to tune in, unless it's somebody like Nas, because Nas. Nas makes videos. He's a content creator. So when you see Nas on a card, you're like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna tune in." I know Nas. He has a presence online. Yeah, I want to tune in. You see Pryoxis, of course I want to tune in because it's Pry. You see Marshall, I'm tuning in because it's Marshall mine. I mean, if you need people who the people know, and that's why TikTok versus YouTube was the most watched event on UFC for history.
Yeah, I remember when that event took place. I watched, and I've been like standing on my 2 feet since that event, screaming for a Twitch versus YouTube event of some sort. But like I often much for, I mean, I speak about often. The Twitch side of UFC is not as big as the YouTube side or the TikTok side, and could that be because the UFC content's more of oh, there's a 5 minute video, I'll watch this, than a oof, I don't really want to watch a guy play this game for 5 hours.
I think, man, like I don't know much about the Twitch culture, but like there's some games that don't work on Twitch like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll give you a good example. Like sometimes you'll see like creators like Nas live with 500 viewers on TikTok, and then you'll see them live on YouTube with 200 viewers on YouTube. But then when you go to Twitch, I mean, realistically, like big creators who are going live on Twitch like that, like I just don't know the Twitch culture like that. But to me, it seems like people are not interested in watching UFC 5 on Twitch.
Mm.
That I don't have the answer. But going a little back to like TikTok versus YouTube, there has been talk about TikTok versus YouTube too. There has been a lot of talk of that, and I just want to say I personally want to take it to the next level. And I think that's the reason why it hasn't happened yet, because It has been really close to happening, but I always come in the middle. Pause. And I'm always the one who wants to take it to the next level. And I'm always telling these guys, we can't do it like the last time. But the talks have been so strong, like so close to happening. But it just can't happen like the last time. And it
Yeah.
can be better.
Yeah.
So
You gotta do
yeah,
bigger. You can't do
I have things on mind that I want it. There's a way I want it to happen, and most of the people are on board. It's just really tough to make it happen, but we need to find a way to make it happen.
Well, shit. Maybe one day soon in the future we'll see TikTok versus YouTube too.
Oh,
Um,
definitely, definitely. In the future, it's gonna happen. Bro, it needs to be better because those events like that are the events that really take the community to the next level. Like,
mm,
dude, think about it. UFC 4 was a dead game, and we had like 5,000, almost to 6,000 people watching,
yeah. Well.
and there was no prize in the line, but there were creators only.
Yes,
You see
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah, yeah. The two big things are like money and creators. Like if you have the both of those, it's like everybody's gonna tune in exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like if EA and the creators got involved, the esports could get like drawn to the next level. And like I know Toon Squad just started a league. Their first event was yesterday. And that could be big with like Pry and JMMA
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
involved. That could be something that brings UFC 5 to like the next standard
we,
kind of.
we we need to work together, man, to like bring the community to where it needs to be.
Well, that's the
In,
thing.
in,
That's like a big thing with the community. It's always divided in two sides.
and
Um,
that doesn't help either. You know what I mean?
that doesn't help anybody, and
At
that's
all.
kind of and that's kind of why I feel like that's kind of why me and you are so cool because we're like cool with each other because we're like we kind of see everyone's perspective and where we maintain our relationships with both sides and we kind of try to bring the community together in some sorts, you know, going about it in different ways but still having the same ultimate goal. And I feel like at the end, that's the answer. Like if everybody came together, like more powers and numbers, and if we had like both sides kind of together, that would just be
Dude,
OP.
nobody is bad. People just have different opinions.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
That's it.
Nobody is bad. People have different opinions and people have different ways to go about it. And I could tell you this because I know both sides. I have been with Marshall personally next to me. I haven't met Pry, but I have been with Pry. And nobody it's bad. It's just different opinions and just people go differently about it. Like that's just all it is. That's just all it is.
Yeah,
But
I've been
that's why
told.
you see me. I have been kind of like. That's why you see me. After going to Vancouver, there was a lot of things that I was really vocal about.
Mhm.
Why is this like this? Why is this like that? We don't have new fighters. Bro, you can still go back to my TikTok. The videos are there. That's why now I don't really talk much about it like that because now I know, like, oh, okay, that I was told, I was shown why this is like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is that.
Yeah, no, and after talking to both sides, like I've sat down with so many people from both sides, and um both sides say the same. Say they the thing about everybody's opinion too is it's so close to like the same
Wrong
opinion.
opinions.
It's like so close to the same opinion though that like it's like almost there. There's just a little bit of tweaks along the way. But I do feel like the ultimate goal would be to get the community together. That it's just not a possibility until we have a game that everybody agrees on.
Sadly, that's what's gonna
And
come
it's
down to.
and it sadly it's not in our hands, but the dev team's been damn well trying to give us the best game they can. And I
And and,
really
and, and, and you know what, with the developers too, like, something I told them on their faces, because I have been saying this for the longest. I was like, we need more communication from you guys. We need more, because I feel like the communication is just weak from both parts. That it kind of like it falls apart. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they want to communicate more, but when you have people harassing developers, just that's just not cool, man. That's absolutely don't go about it that way, bro. Because now you're cutting that possibility. Because if I'm a developer, right, I'm getting paid to develop this game. I start getting harassed. I start getting threats. Fuck that. I'm not gonna communicate with you, man. I'm gonna like stay as hidden as possible because we're talking about my life now. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I see it. And I told them, I talked to Ramon, I talked to Nate, I talked to all of them boys. I was like, we need more communication. It just needs to happen. If anything, in my opinion, they're gonna have to hire somebody kind of like how Boxing Fanatico is the guy for the community, how Sheb, I don't know if Sheb is the guy, but I know Boxing Fanatico is the guy for Undisputed and Steel City Interactive. If anything, you're gonna have to hire somebody to be the guy who communicates everything to the community on UFC 5.